Now, quite a few of the bases I used have been put together for the game Kings of War, so that stops me from taking the models off when I lose wounds like you do in Warhammer Fantasy Battle. So the La Maisontal monks here, expertly painted by Mustafa, they are on a base, for example, so I'll use dice and tokens to track their wounds, basically, rather than taking the models off. The units that aren't on their own base and can be taken off individually, of course, I'll be doing that. We've got some riders in the woods here, and some guy dancing in the woods. Tom Bombadil, perhaps? Most definitely. Just a little bit of flavour there. Some old Merp minis. Friar Tuck and Little John. Glorfindel from Merp as well. Over here we've got the Wizard's Cave and the old Advanced Hero Quest Shattered Amulet. I might use that as a turn marker, but it only goes into 4, so I'll have to think about that. I think from turn 4 onwards I'm going to roll to see if the giant turns up, and also the Skaven and possibly the Wood Elves. But to begin with, it's going to be a pitched battle between Empire, the town of Delberz, and a giant orc war which is coming over the hills. I'm quite pleased with this hill. I took advice from an early edition of the rule book, which was just to put cardboard underneath to create a hill, and I've got a bit of astroturf there, so yeah, I'm quite pleased with that one. But yeah, I've got the pizza on, so I'm going to have lunch first and then probably start about 1 o'clock. I've got the afternoon and the evening, and possibly the next morning as well. So no big rush, just going to enjoy a nice relaxing game of Warhammer Fantasy Battle. Hi guys, quick update at the end of turn 4 for Warhammer Fantasy Battle, and I've got to say I'm having the time of my life, much like the solo game of the Battle of Waterloo last week. This weekend it's Warhammer Fantasy Battle, original rules. I've explained all this already, but I'll just give you a quick update. I've got books open all over the place, models on the floor down here, but let's see what's happening on the table. So the Spider Riders have broken in, and actually I need to resolve that combat in a minute, so we're not quite done with turn 4. And it was looking pretty bleak for the Empire in Delberz. We had this unit and this unit and nothing else. Basically we had 2 units. 1 unit of swordsmen's been wiped out by the Spider Riders, but luckily I rolled for reserves, and it's the first time the reserves have turned up. But we passed on a 2 or more because it's turn 4 already. Bugman's Dwarf Rangers have turned up with a unit of 50 dwarves and some Eastern Archers, possibly from Kislev or something. And these chaps from Bogenhofen have turned up. They happen to be in the vicinity and saw the smoke signals from the incense burner. This objective has moved to the tower, so 2 objectives still not held there, but the Night Goblins definitely have the Wizard's Cave, so they are holding 1 objective and Empire is still holding 2. This is a moving objective, so that's a slight advantage. Meanwhile over here we've got the Boar Riders, the Night Goblins, the Fanatics have been released, but not quite touched the enemy, so that was a lucky escape. And over here a big horde of old world orcs have turned up, failed their animosity test, and are squabbling amongst each other at the moment. Probably a good thing for the town of Delberz, and I have to say I'm absolutely loving it. It's a solo game, of course, but it's one of those battles that you just dream of, you know, just getting everything on the table. We're nearly at the end of 4 turns. I was going to play till 6, but it's only 5 to 3 in the afternoon, so I'm going to take a break, and I'm probably going to do another 4 turns and use this thing as a turn marker. And then we'll say it's 4 more turns until nightfall. And then if it goes on longer than that, I can play tomorrow with whatever's left, and we'll do another game again of 6 to 8 turns. Because I don't like the Empire's chances at the moment, although that is a strong looking unit of dwarves come to the rescue, and that's quite a nice strong front line there with the monks of Tal and the Empire State Troops, but we shall see. And the thought that's coming to my mind right now is why oh why did I ever stop playing Warhammer Fantasy Battle? Yes, I know it got dropped, Age of Sigmar came along, but I had all the models, they all went in the loft for a decade or more. I still paint Warhammer, and whenever I paint them I put them away, but I haven't been gaming, and it's a real shame because I absolutely love it. And the old rule sets are still out there, you can still play your favourite games, just don't forget that. If a new edition of your favourite game comes along, doesn't matter, you don't have to buy it up, just continue playing your one. But yeah, we all grow up, we get lives, responsibilities, all the rest of it, so that comes into play. But those games are still there, ready to be picked up. And I am so glad I didn't sell all of this stuff, because I was thinking about it. Anyway, I'll do you another update in a couple of turns' time. I've been playing for about 2 hours, and we're at the end of turn 4. These guys did get stuck for animosity, to be fair. There's a big old clash going on here. Look at that. Take a picture of that. Oh, I can't at the moment because I'm recording. But yeah, it is epic to say the least. And really it's just been a nice excuse to get all the models on the table. I don't think it makes for a very practical battle. However, it's been thoroughly enjoyable working out what all the units do and what all the skills are. And yeah, we've seen a fair bit of combat and a lot of shooting, actually, a lot of manoeuvring. And pretty much all the reserves are on now. I'm not sure if I'll keep rolling for them, because actually I don't think there's any more space. So I'm going to play 2 more turns, and then it will be nightfall. And then I'm going to work out what I want to do after that, whether I want to play on tomorrow as a second battle with the models that are left, or just call it and see who's sitting on which objectives. I feel like, even though it's a solo game, I'm giving them both the best opportunities they can. And yeah, I'm not biased either way, really. But yeah, I just can't believe it's been so long. When my last game of Fantasy Battle, I reckon it was something like 2014, which is what, 12 years ago? It's a long time, isn't it? Played a lot of 40k since then, some Black Powder, Kings of War. But the old Fantasy Battle was just sitting in the attic in boxes. A lot of this has been painted recently, like the Bugman's Dwarves and the Rugland's Armoured Orcs, and these guys as well. They're really a labour of love, but a lot of these are from way back in the day. The steam tank's new. Yeah, the coach is new. So yeah, I've just kept adding to it, really. And yeah, I'm really quite tired after 6 turns, but raring to go for the next 2 turns, see where we get to. I'd be amazed if the orcs get through to those 2nd, 3rd objectives. We've got a lot of specialised fighters in there, and I think the thing that's held them back the most has been these guys. They're whirling fanatic things that just, if they're in the way, it stops any sort of charges happening. Yeah, so maybe not take those next time. When there's a next time, if and when. Made this morning from a lid that I always used to paint my models with since about 2004. I've always stuck my models on there, and now it's a piece of scenery. It is the end of turn 7, and it looks like it might all be over for the Empire and the village of Delberz. We've lost a whole unit of Glade Guard. It was charged by this troll who basically caused fear. They passed the panic test, but then he won the combat resolution because Grom the Paunch had called a war, or a wah, which gave him a +1. They rolled pretty badly and ran off the table edge, but he caught them just before they could do that, and he's now charged into the dwarves, who have also got to take a panic test because he causes fear. We've still got the steam tank, but the Boar Boys have passed into the town and have captured an objective. This objective is securely held here, and it looks like it might be an Orc victory. We've got 1 turn left to go. The Night Goblins have been the unit of the battle. They've just been absolutely incredible, and these guys haven't even fought yet. So I don't think we need any more reserves. After turn 8, if it was still going, I was going to bring on some Dryads from the woods and also some Demons or Daemons of Slaanesh, but I think I'll just add them just for flavour. I've got 3 minutes of recording time left, so I'll stop there and see you at the end. Right, that's it guys, the battle is over at the end of turn 8. This is what the board looks like. It's been a full 10 hours of gaming with considerable breaks. We got pretty much everything on the board. The only thing I forgot to get on was the Goblin Wolf Riders, but pretty much everyone else made an appearance, even the Giant. So it's nightfall now at the end of turn 8, and it's a victory for the town of Delberz. They hold this objective. This one's contested, as is this one. The Daemonettes arrived at turn 8 to signify, chaos erupting in the old world. Also the War Dancers and the Dryads made an appearance. Grom the Paunch has trundled off into the woods there, seeing off the Dryads. But the town has been held. Thanks a lot to all the troops, everyone has ever played Warhammer with. Thank you very much. This is very much dedicated to you guys. There's too many of you to name, but many fond memories over the years of battles, but never something that's lasted this long. So there we go. This has been Warhammer Fantasy Battle and the Siege of Delberz. Now at the end of turn 8, nightfall comes to the old world.